This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the grinning Valor Rock.
You saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Any law-abiding citizen would have done the same.
Paradise is getting more dangerous by the hour.
Nothing to see here, Envoy. The situation's under control. What he thinks doesn't matter anymore. I caught this waste of life mugging a protected citizen. I just did what came naturally.
I thought all Paradisans were protected citizens.
These things happen from time to time. Inquisitor Ludwig understands. I assume you do too. Forgive me, Envoy. I spoke too freely. It won't happen again.
Easy. We don't want people thinking you put a curse on them.
When you catch your killer, make sure it hurts.
Don't go starting trouble. Don't just stand there. Come in. The Valor Rock's always open. Sit down. What do you want? If you want information, I've got it. Just a matter of what you'll pay for it. There's a rumor about a valuable Pargroon stash north of here. You didn't hear that from me, though. It's getting more expensive to bring produce in from Fjord. Whatever's going on, that doesn't bode well. The locals are worried about the steel garrote coming into town. Whatever Wodica wants, she's bound to find it. I hear there's trouble out in Thirdborn. They're blocking the roads off, and they won't tell anybody why. Some Svef user told me he had a vision out by the eastern ruins. Not sure what that's worth to you. Stand there. Come in. The Valor Rock's always open. What's going on back there? Don't just stand there. Come in. The Baloroc's always open.
What do you want, Adirian?
Do you mind?
Don't get many Adirans in here.
Ease off, stranger.
I don't have time for another prospect.
It's not polite to eavesdrop on ladies, you know.
Don't just stand there. Come in. The Baloroc's always open.
You know what you're doing.
There's just something about you, isn't there?
You there! Are you just going to stand there and gawk at that body all day?
He's dead. It's not like I can do anything for him now, can I?
You can see that the poor bastard is properly processed. What is this? Charnel House?
First week in the Living Lands. Huh?
Damn this city. Every day someone new turns up dead.
You! What are you doing? This is a crime scene! That's evidence.
That's the Imperial envoy. Stay out of his way.
Right. My mistake.
Envoy?
The hunters set that up as a way to earn some extra coin.
A pleasure, Envoy. I'm Aldrich, the bounty master of Paradise. If it suits your fancy, check the board for work. The dangerous kind. Some more than others. Speak to me when you've got something to turn in. Hey, someone had to take the job. Ensuring that these threats to the good people of Paradise are eliminated is my way of helping. I guess I consider it my first steps down a long road to atonement. Apologies, friend, but that's none of your concern. I left there for a reason, and now I'm here. And that's all you need to know. Be safe out there, you hear? Oh, Octa. That's a dwarf with a chip on his shoulder. Heard he burnt the last ones that went after him alive. Going to take on the ogre then? Reckon he's the most dangerous bounty we've got. Be careful. Ain't many ways into that camp from what I've heard. You might want to consider trying to find one. A frontal assault would be mighty reckless. You're a brave soul, Uncle. Spiders are bad enough as is, let alone big, mean bastards like Nassim. Tempestuous Luandi Kachirai, huh? Watch yourself. Her aim is as sharp as her wit.
You there. You look like you know your way around... hello. I heard what happened. I see why you'd want to protect yourself. Probably because I made them. Or most of them, anyway. If it didn't keep them alive, they weren't skilled enough to use it. Ever heard the saying, a bad hunter blames Galawain for their bow? You mean enchanted? No. A shield does its job just fine. It doesn't need to be tinkered with. Talk to my sister if you're interested in that kind of thing. She's over there. At least I don't think she's blown herself up yet. I just think... well, maybe. I'm still taller, though. By a hair's breadth. If I stand up straight.
Back for more supplies. You wouldn't believe how my new friend eats. You know, I think I am. It's probably better that we live away from town, though. People would ask questions. Anyway, I'm not sure what kind of favor I could owe you, but I owe you one. Thank you. So much to do.
No. I need something that says yearning but mysterious.
That is our most expensive blend. It came all the way from Ozia.
It's too obvious. I want a hint of fire. A promise that could be. That I love him. But every time I get close, something makes me pull away.
I don't think anyone's ever made a perfume that said all that. I only sell the finest fragrances.
So many choices, but none of them are perfect.
Your affairs of men have no place at this tree.
Oh, it just doesn't work.
Hey, so close. But what's the point? It's useless without that Adra. Oh, you are a special one, you are. I thought all the godlikes were taken back, wherever they came from. Don't mean a thing by it. I'm glad to see not all the gods have abandoned us. I suppose if you say it, it must be true. After all, you're still here, huh? Luckily, I'm trying to do work for the betterment of the world. That ought to win me some favor if the gods are watching. Ha! Good point. I suppose my work wasn't doing Rimergand any favors, huh? Sapiento di Falva, alchemist and dreamer, at your service. My latest experiment was meant to solve the scourge that has come over the local flora and the fauna, but it wasn't meant to be. I expected my main reagent to be delivered today, but I suppose the gods had other ideas. Awakened Adra has already failed me. No, I have the misfortune of requiring luminous Adra for this experiment. The gentlemen who are supposed to acquire my Adra have not delivered it, and they seem to be avoiding me, as if they fear my wrath. Which is impossible. Yes, I thought so too. But they offered a very sensible deal and swore they had a supplier. Certainly seemed honest to me. My friends must have lied. Or they got the Adra and they lost it. I can't imagine why else they would be acting so strange about it. Interesting that you think I'd name names while talking to the newly arrived envoy from Adir. But yes, Adelgund, often by the western gate, she knew some animancers and she might know something. Hmm? I'd be very grateful. I know it looks like I'm crying, but it's from the acrid fumes I inhaled earlier. Hmm? Any luminous Adra will do, he said, as if the stuff were falling from the sky.
Step right up. I can tell you need more fire in your life. Or maybe more essence. Please buy something. I'm trying to prove a point. My sister, the blacksmith, she doesn't think this will work out. I say she's wrong. Why keep a dagger under your pillow when you can use a ward stone instead? You understand? It's not cheating, it's being prepared. Of course not. I wouldn't sell you something I thought would kill you. That's not good for business. I did that once. I had to hire a watcher to get the phantom out. I suppose I shouldn't brag about that to a potential customer. made it back.
What do you want? Quickly! I have an audience waiting for me. Everything! This performance is a nightmare! My friends thought it'd be funny to get roaring drunk last night. Only one showed up today, and he was in no shape to perform. They've all gathered out there, and I don't have a show to give them. I can't play every part myself. I just can't. I suppose they wouldn't object to a one-man show? The question is, which one? I've only memorized a few. I could do Beltramo's Lament, or the Deerwood Tree, or maybe the May Queen's Conquest. Yes, that should do perfectly. Thank you again, my friend. Now to go out and face them.
I always thought they should move to High Market. Then they'd make enough to eat.
Dear listeners, a solo performance I have for you today. Prepare to be awed by feats of verse and memory. But before the show begins, perhaps a demonstration to whet your appetites. Follow me on an auditory adventure, a tour of the living lands and its most wild of creatures. First, let me introduce you to the mating call of the Stelgar, the ruin of so many. A silent and stealthy feline. Few have heard its call, and fewer still have lived to tell the tale. Hold your applause, my dear friends. There's more to come. Perhaps you've heard the fearsome Stelgar before. After all, just a small few have lived after running into one. But have you ever heard the distress call of a fearsome Bellerock? Of course not! Bellerocks live deep within the living lands, rarely seen by any of the bravest souls. And if you are unlucky enough to face this scaled abomination, they are dangerous to tails. Now, when you hear this, I must ask that you remain where you stand. There's nothing to fear. All is well. I assure you. It's as if the monsters are present with us at this very moment, is it not? But fear not! It is only I. Thank you all for your time. My name is Dugu, and it has been an honor to perform for you. Allow me just a brief intermission, and I promise yet more to dazzle and delight you. now how one queen's iron fingers grasp. Fie! I should have trusted my dear friend. See now how one queen's iron fingers grasp. Fie! I should have trusted my dear friend.
Envoy.
Surprised they'll let us walk out of here.
It's been a lot quieter since you arrived.
Paradise can be a nice place, if you know the right people.
Envoy.
Well, look who graced us with... This is the Sparrowhawks district. State your business. Things can happen to people who get too curious. Go on. But remember, Thala's got his eye on you. I wouldn't get on an ogre's bad side. Watch your back. Or don't.
Let's leave them alone. They look worried for someone. Smile and be yourself. Or maybe just smile.
Best watch your step around here, envoy. This is my district. So, the puny godkin wishes to speak with the great Thala. You and your countrymen are not welcome in this district. My district. Is that clear? Not being welcome here doesn't mean you aren't tolerated. We're not fools enough to attack you or your kin unprovoked. I would be lying if I said I wasn't just waiting for the opportunity to crush you into the ground. One little slip in my district, Imperial Lapdog, and it'll be the last you ever make. So the little godkin has a spine. Good. Ripping it from your body will be a pleasure most exquisite. Now be gone. Thala tires of your yammering.
You break it, you buy it.
We are done speaking, Adirin. Go taint someone else's air.
Let us in, sweetheart.
I told you, we're closed.
Not for us, you're not.
What's a man gotta do to get his needs met around here?
If you think we'll roll over after you steal from us.
That's exactly what I think.
Fine. Take it up with Juliana.
Oh, don't worry. We will.
Go on. Juliana's inside. She doesn't bite, unless you ask.
Think she's too fancy for the likes of us, does she?
All my time in Paradise, and I never knew a painter lived here.
Yeah.
Those are the papers the Madeira refugees are waiting for.
God, got a real ugly mug. Adherents ain't welcome around the Pearl District. Mind yourself.
Hail! I take it you're new to these parts? If so, you're going to want to heed my advice. Up these stairs is the Pearl District. Ever since the Sparrowhawks took over, it's become a right deadly place. A group of smugglers. Vicious killers, the lot of them, as far as I'm concerned. A number of artisans actually support these piles of Stelgar dung, if you can believe it. They see them as a beacon of independence, resisting your countrymen. Oh, watch out for their leader. He's a big, mean bastard, that one.
Big? No offense, but I've eaten chickens bigger than you.
Says you, fish man. Can you believe the cheek on that one? Thala the Taskmaster, they call him. An ogre, if you can believe it. Only seen him once, myself, and I hope it stays that way. I hope you're right. We'll see soon enough, eh?
If the militia had any formal instruction, they'd get it here.
You're a damn good shot, you know that?
Oh, I'm well aware. But thank you. It's very sweet.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that?
You really want to know the answer to that question?
You know what? Maybe it's better that I don't. No. Kinda nice when the city was still locked down.
Excuse me? What in the God's name are you talking about?
Think about it. Nobody coming in and out. No smugglers to look out for. No more Deerins coming into the city.
Well, you actually kind of have a fair point there.
Signs of a struggle. Looks like misadventure to me.
I don't know. Break like that? It's hard to give yourself.
I assume you intend to pursue this line of inquiry.
It's Paradise. If someone killed him, they'll get what's coming to them.
Must not be hiring.
No one's come to claim him. I suppose I should see them.
There are spells. Now?
Keep your helmet on. He's only been there a day. Yeah.
I just don't get it. It's like there's something in the soil this year.
An interesting day so far. An interesting day indeed. Well, I'll be chomped by a Zaret queen. You're that godlike from the docks. No problem. Been an unusual day, is all. I can't believe my luck. Nothing all year, and then boom! Interesting strangers just falling out of the sky. As a matter of fact, I have. Indeed, a young dwarf and his crew stopped by. Seemed agitated, like they were afraid of someone. They were asking all sorts of people. Seems like I was the only one willing to really speak to them. They were asking where they could find luminous Ardra, of all things. Can't imagine what they'd needed it for. I said they were most likely out of luck, but I might know somewhere they might find some if they looked hard enough. Not long ago, a group of animancers looked to carry out some experiments into teleportation. They carried their instruments and a healthy supply of luminous Ardra to the island of Castel's Folly. It's possible there's some still there. Oh, I'm afraid not. No, those people were never seen again. That's why I think their Ardra might still be there. Question, why are you looking for those sailors? Did the Valian captain send you? I don't know much, but one of the smugglers whispered the name Captain Bardato and spit on the ground. The name sounded Valian to me. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Oh no, I imagine a Valian sea captain knows better than to spend time among all these Adiran soldiers. The folks you're looking for are probably getting themselves killed searching for Ardra that probably isn't there. I can tell you wouldn't listen to me if I warned you not to go to Castel's Folly, so I wish you luck. It's possible the Ardra disappeared with the experiment, but good luck out there.
This is where you fell. Don't count on anyone cleaning up the bloodstain anytime soon. Sometimes we get more contraband coming through here than honest goods.
Wish that Sawbones would hurry up. I gotta get back to him. No one else is coming to help. Wow, it's really you. I mean, we all heard the Emperor sent a godlike, but I didn't never think I'd get to meet you. You are the envoy, aren't you? I bow, but I think I dislocated my shoulder, and I might have broken some ribs. Is that the lady who brought you back from the dead? Tej, the ambassador's secretary. He told me you got sniped the second you walked through the gate. Thwack! I couldn't believe it. I mean, talk about getting off on the wrong foot. Anyway, don't worry about me. The Sawbones is going to escort me to the clinic any minute, and I'm not exactly in a hurry to see him. Not until I get help from my brother.
If Adir's medics are anything like Rawatai's, we'll hear your screams from 3 blocks away.
Oh, good. That'll be a lot of fun for everyone. My brother, Cadman, and I ran into some trouble exploring a temple north of the city. Bears and traps and guards. What else? The floor collapsed from under us. He couldn't walk too well, and yet our captain wanted to keep going, so he sent me back for help. We're with a team from the Free Expedition Corps. We've seen a lot, but no place like this. I fear for their lives, Envoy. You're just saying that to make me feel better. We don't even have our own quarters. We mostly operate out of the Cartographers Guild. At least it's cozier than the soldiers' barracks. And they let me copy their maps. Most of the places we go aren't as treacherous as this temple, though. It's built on ruins, and the ruins are falling apart. Because of the roots, you know, and the earthquakes. We're looking for the man who built the temple, someone the locals call the Oracle. He's well, he's like you, a godlike. All the gods but one, I guess. Because this Oracle, he belongs to Aethys. And if the rumors are true, he's the very last of his kind.
Take it from me. Around here, the rumors always have some truth to them.
We just want to talk to him. That's why we went down there. Now my brother's hurt, and my team's in danger, and I'm stuck here and...
Take it easy, kid.
Sorry. Everyone at the embassy's too busy to help me, and I'm worried sick.
Not much. He doesn't get out often. But I've heard he's hundreds of years old and only speaks to godlikes. So, he probably hasn't seen much company in a while. Can't say I blame him. People still fault Aethys for the Saints' War, and that was 25 years ago. If I were the earthly avatar of everyone's least favorite god, I'd go into hiding too.
If nobody wants him here, then he should leave. This Oracle, he set himself up in a godless ruin. Turned it into a temple to Aethys, right? Supposedly. He built the whole place up just to house a holy relic. A bone from Aethys' Titan. I guess they don't talk about our discoveries in the court, huh? The place Aethys was headed in the Deadfire, Ukaizo. There are these enormous skeletons. I mean, they're hundreds of feet tall. Yeda, our captain, she believes these Titan skeletons are what's left of the gods' physical bodies. They used to get up and walk around. And this godlike, he's got a piece of the one that belonged to Aethys. That's what my team is down there to confirm, anyway. Well, if that relic really is what it's said to be, and if it can heal the sick like it's said to do, it can't stay here. Not in some dank hole in this mouldering backwater. Not when it can help our people with the Dream Scourge. Or help people back home who deserve it more. And yet is determined to get that relic, no matter the risks. The rewards are just too great.
But
Envoy, I'm afraid it's a lie. And they're all going to die down there for nothing. Gods, do you mean it? I can't thank you enough. They descended into the temple through a route off the Pilgrim's Path, just north of the city. You'll know you're headed the right way when you see trail markers and rock stacks the Pilgrims left behind. We posted a guard out front, Sedgwin. Let her know I sent you, and she'll let you pass. Well, I gather there were folks who worshipped Aethys. And they'd come to this temple from all over the living lands to pray, or be healed, or to ask forgiveness. But Aethys isn't too popular these days, so...
So, most people don't go there anymore.
Right. Exactly. This oracle, I don't know if he's dangerous, but he's supposed to carry a sword full of diamonds. I'll probably never get to see it now. You know, when I heard the envoy was a godlike, I thought you'd be more... Actually, forget it. You'll probably find the expedition with the relic we were searching for. Whatever that is. Thank you for hearing me out, envoy.
died? But you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you. Still can't believe you're alive.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure didn't.
No one expected the Envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs. Well,
Kai?
Come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarrock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy? The 7-foot-tall Aumaua with biceps the size of my head? No, I am not.
Flatterer. You know I'm barely over 6.5.
Naturally, sir. How can I help you? Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodica wasn't done with her yet. Has she ever mentioned you? Except, no. Wait. The morning after the ambassador received word you'd been dispatched, I heard the Inquisitor tell her captain that an old friend would visit soon. That couldn't have been you, could it?
The envoy here has depths you would not believe.
We are living in the strangest of all possible times. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodica. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodica's priests, or Wodica herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say. Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Boudica's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Boudica does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free. I'm an open book. What would you like to know? Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both? That's where you come in. Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Dawnshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets. That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it, and the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day. For however rough around the edges this city is, there are good people here. Same as anywhere else. People who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time, and their skates are made from real copper, and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods. They like us a lot. The Resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining. They take out loans with small Adiran banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect. They agree to contracts with families in Adir seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire. If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradise is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the living lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradise has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior. By all means. Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the Claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Amon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me. Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy. He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does. Of course. There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific? There is no singular authority in the living lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the living lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pogrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Naturally. The Pogrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pogrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. Fior Mesiverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
I'm an open book. I trust whomever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city. She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did she take your money?
No. Anyway, watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn. The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodika's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves. Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runid, of course. And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end. A Watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a Watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am. In any case, the Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad. Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know. I've heard that rumor too. It flits about High Crown every couple years. Some even say it is his Lady Empress. We have no way of knowing whether it's true or not, but I will tell you, Envoy, I don't like to think the Emperor would stoop so low. There's something I find undignified about it. I don't think so.
The Envoy is right. You're basically a Watcher encyclopedia.
Why should a secretary be limited to knowledge of filing systems and how the ambassador takes his tea? I was a boy once. Watchers were a special interest of mine when I was young.
He sounds defensive to me. Does he sound defensive to you, Envoy?
I am not a Watcher.
Exactly what a Watcher would say.
Both of you, please, your fun puts me at tremendous risk. This isn't a subject the Inquisitor takes lightly.
All right. I know you're not a Watcher, Teach. You'd be better at dice.
Apology accepted. Of course. Off freak. I did. Terrible shame what happened to his brother. It sounds like his injuries were severe. I saw you two talking. I hope you can help him, Envoy. I don't mean to twist your arm, but don't delay too long. There have been earthquakes in the region lately. Floods, cave-ins. Gods know what else is possible down in that cave. You're the only one we have with the expertise for that kind of fieldwork.
Aside from the people in trouble down there, which says something to the danger in that cave.
Whatever I think of the Expeditions Corps, they serve a vital purpose to the Empire. I'm glad it's you going after them. Inquisitor Ludwine is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deathfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, Envoy.
Envoy, is it really you? I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? Your fealty to our homeland conquers death itself. What an inspiration.
But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness, at least someone understands the gravity of our situation. And I can't think of anyone more suited for the job. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Trust me, we'll get to that. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. At least rebels know the meaning of negotiation and compromise. But a plague kills indiscriminately. Though, even I must admit the rebels have gone too far. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. Indeed, the killer sent a message, but this is our chance to send one in return. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the living lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisen rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Blend in, for one thing. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the living lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. Before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing, the health of your soul is another. An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
Tracking down mysterious assassins with a godlike who returned from death, all while the rumored dream scourge spreads. Can't say I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
We'll talk more of the dream scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.